who were some of the guys that were super stiff in the ring, especially towards the job guys?
Well, I can't really remember right now. But even if a guy was stiff with the job guys, when he come back out, somebody guy said, "Man, lighten up on those guys." So they're not making any money, and you're going out there now. It's going to make they won't come back. So now we got to look for some more job guys. Don't beat them up. And even when I was a booker, I had a guy he would treat him roughly. I said, "Stop it! Don't do that because these guys, like I said, they're not making any money. They're doing it because they love wrestling. So don't go out there and beat the crap out of them. Don't do that. And if he continued to do it, I'd take him off TV. I don't care who he was, because most of the guys doing the stiffing of these guys weren't the top notch guys. They weren't. Hang on a minute.
You've got a coffee coming in.
No. Yeah, it was usually the guys who were really trying to get over that they've just come in, but they would just go out here and they would just beat these guys up. But not many of them, because the other guy, if they did that, like I'd say, we'd get them in the dressing rooms and stop. The only two you could really beat up that liked to be beat up was the Mulkey brothers. The more you did it to them, the more they liked it. And I told them one day, and we talked last week about Tommy Siegler from South Carolina. The Mulkey brothers was out of the same group.
Anderson, South Carolina, I think they were from.
That's where they were from. And they'd get in there, and they were, to me, they were heat-seeking guys. And they'd stand over there like this. You announce them. They have no body. They have the white skin, that blonde hair.
They were almost like translucent, weren't they? They were almost like glass.
And they were so hilarious. I just standing in the corner, and guys would just beat the shit out of them. I saw the the Midnight Express. They give them some kind of a big suplex on the concrete. And this was at TBS in Atlanta at the Studio Wrestling. Oh, I felt bad for him, because you could hear his bat hit splat. Oh, my God. But they liked that. And really, that's where I got my idea about the loser, the guys who can't win a match. And I took it, and I first made do with it with Barry Horowitz in Florida, Jack Hart. He could not win a match, and you couldn't get it over any faster. It took about 3 weeks. Then I put his one-loss record up where he lost another match, and he was like 0 wins and 64 consecutive losses. Oh, my. And every week that number would go up, and it'd go up a little more and go up a little more. Well, that's where I got my idea about the loser gimmick. These guys got over by getting beat. I said, well, what if you made an angle out of this? The guy that can't win a match. So I first debuted it in Florida with Jack Hart. People in Florida, they know what I'm talking about. And then his name is Barry Horowitz. Now he went to WWF back in those days. And I took him out there, and he was a high school wrestling star or something, and he couldn't win a match. And he come out on TV one day with Gordon Soley and says, I've been in a slump lately, but that slump ends today, because I'm so-and-so, I'm Barry Horowitz, and I'm Jack Hart, and I won this, and I won that. And he went in the ring. Guess what? He got beat. Oh, my God. Gordon, he just, how Gordon had that, like you could tell when Gordon was kind of entertained by something. He said, well, Mr. Hart, what do you got to say now? But of course, as he was going back to the dressing room, next week he come out there, said the same thing, went in the ring, got beat. And then I think I did it 3 weeks. But the end of the 3 weeks, I showed his record there. It was like 0 wins and 64 losses. And he was over, and he had heat. I said, what if I really do something with this guy? But that time, before I ever really got a chance to do anything with him, Eddie Graham had killed himself. I got disillusioned on booking Florida because, I had almost everyday interaction with Eddie, not every day, but a lot. And all of a sudden he killed himself, and I just lost my interest in even being there. So I give my notice and left. And that's the end of that story. But the Mulkey brothers, they like getting beat up as far as other guys liking to beat guys up. I mean, if I went in the ring with the Mulkeys, they said, lay it in. I said, brother, I'm not going to lay it in. Just sell it. That's all you got to do. I'm going to make a move towards you and just take a bump like I've killed you.